Hey, I'm the Terminator. I still haven't watched this movie since we played it.
You know, he never says that once in the movie.
I know. And yet at the beginning of our playthrough you say, I'm the Terminator. Come with me if you want to die. That's not the line. The beginning of this playthrough really makes me laugh.
I really did that, huh?
You did. You had the glass and the aviators.
Oh my god.
It was awesome. I'll show it to you later, but the beginning to fucking Terminator was pretty epic. But anyway, welcome back to Power Trip Gaming Retrospective.
Welcome back, everyone.
We are doing Bethesda's Terminator. Oof.
Well, it's not really. Yes, Bethesda was one of the developers.
One of the developers.
One of the developers. It was actually published by Mindscape, so it was Mindscape's Terminator, the Terminator.
Oh God. Who put this out?
Mindscape.
That was
published.
Oh, they published it as well.
They did.
Ouch.
They published it. The game was actually developed by two teams, by two companies. Bethesda, which is actually known for the Skyrim games.
Not Sky. It's Elder Scrolls.
Elder Scrolls. I'm sorry.
There's only one Skyrim.
There is only one Skyrim. My bad.
Shows you how much he plays games.
Shows how much I care about Bethesda.
Yeah.
They also did the Fallout series.
Yes, they did. Bethesda's a juggernaut.
I was gonna say they're a juggernaut nowadays. But man, did they have some small ass beginnings.
Which is ironic too, because their playtesting now is about as terrible as it is back then. Yeah. It's not great.
And the second developer of this game was Radical Entertainment.
Oh, your buddies.
Our buddies who brought us such other gems as The Adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle and Friends.
It's ironic I brought that up.
Yeah, that was also Radical.
Yeah.
Oh, and they also did another gem on the Nintendo Entertainment System. Wayne's World.
Oof.
Uh-huh. Radical.
Oof.
Now, this is where I get really pissed off, because all of you people who always say that LJN, like anything that's got the LJN rainbow on there is absolute garbage. No.
Radical.
LJN was simply a publisher. They only publish the games. If you want to blame somebody for bad games, you blame the developer. You do not blame the publisher. They basically just subcontracted out the game, saying, hey, we can't develop these. We want you to develop this game, but we want to make some money because this is a tie-in license. We want to do what we can. So they're guilty of that, but they're not guilty of making the bad games. Radical Entertainment, as a developer, is probably the worst developer that ever was on the Nintendo.
We've noticed that through our experiences so far, Radical has been the biggest offender of
They have been
games.
Terrible. Every game that has been touched by Radical, as far as development, has been absolute trash and has actually nowadays is like some of the lowest rated games of all time. Like Terminator, Rocky and Bullwinkle, Wayne's World, all these games. It's like people know that they suck, that they're terrible.
Yeah, they're really not great. But
so,
we digress a little.
So stop blaming LJN, start blaming Radical.
There you go.
Radical movement.
Radical rats. You're really trying to turn that around.
I fucking hate Radical, and I really think that LJN gets such a bad rap when they shouldn't.
There's been good LJN games. Nightmare on Elm Street was LJN. It was fantastic.
It was developed by Rare.
Yeah.
You know, Karate Kid. It's a terrible game. You know who it was produced by? Or developed by? Atlas.
Oof.
Yeah.
Ouchies. Same with Friday the 13th.
Friday the 13th was Atlas as well.
Oh, boy. Mm-hmm. But we've gotten off topic. Yes, the Terminator for the NES.
Terminator.
You are...
Terminator.
You're Trent Reznor. What the fuck's the main character's name?
Kyle Reese.
Kyle Reese's.
That's right. I think you're Kyle Reese.
He goes in pieces. Dude, the game just... I can't even. You're Kyle Reese. It's the plot to Terminator.
It is. It really is.
You're going back in time to kill the Terminator to keep from killing Sarah Connor.
Yep, exactly.
That's it.
That's literally it. Yeah.
That's what would have you believe anyway. It's not good. On the box, they talk about futuristic weapons of the past and the present and the future. to my recollection, all you ever get is a gun at the beginning, and you punch and kick for the rest of the game.
Punch and kick. Yep, that's it. There are no other weapons.
There are no future weapons. For a future soldier, you fight like a bitch.
Yeah.
This game fucking blows.
It was bad.
It was horrible.
This
so
was
bad,
bad,
we failed the first time we played it.
Yes, we did.
We played it for a while and realized we couldn't pull it off.
No, I don't even think... Yeah, we couldn't make it past level 2.
No, we got to level 1, or we couldn't get past level 1 for the longest time. We got to level 2, realized 0 fucking continues.
0 continues. You get 3 lives, no continues. So
that's,
And there's 6 levels in this game, too. So we were only making it to level 2, and there is 6 total levels in this game.
So I will change my score. Even though I wrote on there... Yes.
What do you change your score to? Okay, so what do you give this game, this wonderful gem of a game on the Nintendo? I'm so glad that they made this game. 1992, by the way, 1992.
Oh my god, it's
92.
God damn it, Radical.
What do you give this game for difficulty, Andrew?
Difficulty-wise, this game gets a 6.
You bastard! Oh, wait, what? You gave it a 6?
It gets a 6. I initially wrote 5. Because, and Paul and I had a slight...
Silly motherfucker!
A slight tiff before recording about the difficulty. So, the game itself...
Let's hear it.
The game itself, not that bad. The enemies don't do shit. They all just kind of run at you, you punch them and kick them. Some of them don't even fucking flat out attack you.
No, they don't.
They're these weird punks with bats. I don't think ever actually attack you.
They just stand there, yeah.
The Coach McGurks from the, I don't remember what the hell, the Terminator 300s or whatever the fuck you said they were. The ones with skin.
The T600s.
They're stupid. I mean, they shoot you. That's all they do. The Terminators themselves don't really even hit you. If you duck, you can punch them in the penis, they're done. They take off a lot of fucking life.
Yes, they do. Like a third of a life bar. Yeah.
But the enemies themselves are not fucking hard.
No.
The mechanics and the programming of this game make this tough. There's a point where there's these platforms that'll come up and then they'll come down. You jump on them. If you jump forward off of these platforms and stop hitting the controller, you move backwards. Like there's a weird fucking inertia that doesn't exist on any ethereal plane, pushes you backwards. The game's programmed like utter shit. Radical. I hate the programming in this game, but I don't feel like that makes it difficult. You can't attack for shit either, though. You punch and kick. That's it. Punching sucks. Kicking sucks. And even attacking with a gun. It takes you a second to unholster it, and then you shoot. You shoot up, kinda. You can shoot down, kinda. You can shoot straight ahead, but then you put the gun back. You're ducking the whole time you're shooting.
Mm-hmm.
Attacking sucks.
Yeah.
The enemies deal a lot of damage as far as like the Terminators go, the Coach McGurks, but otherwise nothing else really hurts.
What the hell are you saying, the Coach McGurks?
They look like Coach McGurk from home movies. What? That animated yeah, I'll show you.
Who the fuck?
I'll show you. So,
Coach McGurks. I thought you were making this up at first. I'm like, what the fuck are you saying?
McGurk. I don't know how you spell it. No, so go on with your difficulty.
So my difficulty, I said, this game is at least a 6. I think...
This is Coach McGurk.
Oh my god, it really does look like Coach McGurk.
Yes, I'll put up a picture of Coach McGurk and then the enemies from the Terminator.
Wow.
They literally look like that.
They really do.
Yeah, so now you understand the reference.
Oh, okay.
So that's why I call it Coach McGurks.
So with this game...
I even wrote it here, Coach
McGurks. So this game, it gets at least a 6. And why it's not higher up is because this game actually... If you can kind of memorize and find your way through the game and kind of as you're going through it, you're kind of learning how to avoid enemies, you're learning how to get used to the controls. And so the memorization actually does make it very feasible to beat this game. It's not impossible, but it is extremely difficult. So I gave it a 6 for that reason. But unlike you who say that the game has mechanics that are broken and that like makes it that shouldn't go into the difficulty. It kind of does because they planned for this game to be a platforming game. But there are certain parts of this game where you literally have to jump on a platform that is literally a pixel. It is literally a pixel in size.
I remember that.
And you have, like he said, if you're not holding the button down, you're kind of going backwards a little bit. So there's this weird drag if you're not compensating for it. But then if you overcompensate for it, you overjump or you overshoot your jump, and then therefore you're screwed. You die.
And you're never sure where his actual box is. Of like where your footing is.
Where is the footing? If I jump onto this box or if I jump onto this platform here, is it going to catch me, or am I going to jump through it? Which there was plenty of times where literally we were jumping through items and we were just falling to our death because the detection was so bad in this game.
Even the jump animation, it took a second or two to jump.
Yeah, because he would kind of do this little duck and
gear up.
And then he would jump.
He was a real bitch for a future soldier.
And so it really got difficult in that sense. The fact that they rely so much on platforming in this game, when the platforming mechanics of the game were so bad, that makes this game almost unplayable, really.
I remember even watching like the eye catch or the demo. Yeah. The demo plays worse than we do.
Yeah, the demo even plays worse.
Oh
like,
my
the
God.
demo plays bad, and it's almost like you can just think to yourself like, oh, somebody is actually playing this, and they're like, okay, this is what we're gonna throw in for the demo stuff, and it's, oh God, this is really bad. And then they just kind of kill themselves. It's like, that's good. We're good.
Oh, it's
that's
so
it.
stupid.
Yeah, no, it was bad. It was so bad. And like you said, the enemies in the game are not that difficult. A lot of them, like, there's a lot of tricks. There are a lot of tricks to dealing with all the enemies.
Power tricks.
Yes, power tricks for power trips. Different tricks for different trips. But like, yeah, the regular enemies, just ducking and kicking. The Terminators, the T-600s that are the endoskeleton ones at the last level. Those ones are, I mean, you literally have to duck, and every so often they punch, and then you stand up, you punch them, you duck back down again. Like, literally, that's all there is to it. And so it's very easy to get through these things, but that's just one...
The electrical sockets.
Yeah. That's just one small aspect of this game. Like, dealing with the enemies is a very small aspect of this game. It's more so on the platforming, where literally, I remember in one of the levels, you have to pick up a block.
I was just about to talk about that.
That you throw, and you have to throw it in the right location, and it literally...
Just hangs in
just
nowhere.
hangs in the middle of nowhere. It literally hangs right there. Then you're like, oh, so it's not a key. It's a block that I then had to use to create a platform so that I could make this jump.
And there was no indication about it.
There was no indication, and for being a movie tie-in, there was nothing even remotely like that in the movie. So why would you have even thought that that was a possible thing in order to beat this area?
Just like even being able to go in the rooms was not something you never encountered anywhere else in the game, but you had to know you could go in the rooms.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
What? Like, the game is just... It's a fucking shit show from beginning to end.
Yeah, it gives you no indication of things that you can do, of things that you have to do, and it's just... Like I said, the enemies, you can call them easy if you want, because they all do. There's tricks for every single one of them, but it is such a limited point of this game. It's more so in the platforming, and the platforming was absolute garbage in this game.
You're right. It is a solid 6.
I won't give it higher than a 6 because that goes into your point where you can't necessarily give the game difficulty because it was artificially made difficult, where the controls were just incomplete. But the game itself is difficult for what it is.
Yeah, you're definitely right. I conceded defeat on that.
So I don't have to call it conceding defeat, but just I'm glad you see it from my perspective. This is not a 5.
No, it's not.
This is not a middle of the road. You don't just pick this game up and you're like, oh, it's a middle of the road.
No, fucking Terminator. No problem.
No problem. I got this.
So from there, we'll move on to fun. Terminator for fun, I gave it a 2. The reason being I gave it a 2 is definitely not for the gameplay. It's because the reason it's not a 1 is the fact that it is sort of good to its source. Loosely, I mean, the premise is, I mean, the cutscenes they show are kind of close to the scenes of the movie. Even as far as crushing the Terminator
I like
at the
that.
end.
I like that aspect. It was a nice touch because that was like literally straight out of the movie.
Yeah, I mean, there's no, unless you've watched the movie, there's no indication you had to crush the Terminator in there, which you pointed out in our playthrough.
Yeah.
But it's clever, and it is actually pretty true to its source material. So that was the only reason I gave it a 2, as opposed to a 1. Is it was kind of close to the source. So
you know what's funny? I gave this game originally, like, I was thinking a 3. And
oh yeah, no continues for this game, by the way.
We already mentioned that.
Okay.
Yeah, no continues. 6 levels.
That's right.
But I originally gave this game a 3 because I did like the aspect of the game that it did feel somewhat true to its source material. Like you said, it does have kind of a Terminator feel. It's dark, it's gritty. Some of the backgrounds actually do kind of capture the Terminator.
Yeah.
Like, and the Terminator movie, like you brought up too, crushing the Terminator with that crushing machine at the very end, like that was very reminiscent. Even after you crush him, I think there's like electricity that comes out of it too. I'm like, oh my god, it's like straight out of the movie. But when it really boils down to it, I think I honestly cannot give this game higher than a 2. Because the level designs are absolutely atrocious. The platforming that they expect you to do, and the things that you have to do, that they give you no indication that you have to do. Like I said, the platforming on super minuscule pixels that doesn't even have a really well-defined area of where you can jump. The control issues, so trying to actually land on these things, it's literally a heart attack every time you jump.
And not only that, but there's times where it feels like you can't help but lose a life. Do you remember at the end of the first level when you're trying to outrun the helicopter and then that weird machine?
Yep.
I feel like it's impossible.
Yeah, no, you're gonna die. You're gonna die at least once. Yeah.
So I mean, and then not only that, but then the slipshotty controls of even just driving the fucking car.
Mm-hmm.
It's so stupid.
Oh yeah, it's bad.
So stupid.
So the controls are terrible. The graphics,
even worse.
The graphics look like it is something that is only a step up from the Atari 2600.
They looked muddy and gross.
They did. They were blocky. They were bad. This game came out in 1992. They knew how to do graphics on the
Little
Nintendo.
Samson.
They were already starting to develop Super Nintendo shit in 1992. The Super Nintendo had just come out the year before. So they were already starting to develop stuff. They knew how to, what the limitations and what the hardware was capable of on the Nintendo. So there is no reason for that. The music in this game, absolutely garbage.
Music? There's
beeps.
There's beeps and boops.
There was
it
beeps
felt
and
like
boops.
an Atari.
It was literally beeps and boops. That's literally level 1. That's literally level 1.
I honestly can't even recall music from the other levels.
There are some levels where I think, if I'm not mistaken, there's just no music. Straight up, there's no music.
Wow.
So again, this game, it has no music, but yet it was a really late release for the system. Why? Why did they even think that this was a good idea? Because what I don't understand is that Terminator 2 Judgment Day came out before this game did.
Really?
Before the Terminator did. Yeah.
And that game was actually good from what I recall.
It was decent.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it was good, but it was decent.
It was better than this.
It was better than Terminator 1. So why they felt that they had to go back to Terminator 1 after they had done Terminator 2 is beyond me, but it's just shitty graphics, crappy controls, stupid, pointless music. Like, really, this game has no redeeming factors. This game is difficult to the point to where I think that it will get frustrating to the point to where you're going to quit long before you even have any desire to beat this game.
Absolutely. This is one of those games where I think we even plugged in and at like 20 minutes into it, we were like, dude, fuck this.
Yeah.
Which doesn't happen very often for
No,
us.
it does not happen often.
No. And I think we
all.
actually have like a previous segment of our failed attempt in the playlist. But, I mean, this one is just so fucking miserable.
This one was bad. This one was bad. And I did not like it. And I honestly, there are no redeeming qualities to this game. So honestly, yeah, my original idea of a 3 is now a 2. It literally, this game is a 2 for fun.
Yeah, it's about as 2 as it gets. It's not great.
No, it is bad.
So that'll go into our Is It Worth It? What did you pay for the Terminator?
So this game, I remember I actually got it in a lot of 10 other boxed Nintendo games.
Oh, so you have it complete.
I don't know
Or
if it's
just
complete. Actually, no, I take that back. This one is complete.
Okay.
And it broke down to, no, I think I got 11 games because I think I ended up paying like $110 or something like that for the lot. So, because it broke down to about $10 a game. So I literally paid about $10 for this game.
Okay. As of this video on PriceCharting.com, this game goes for $15 and 85 cents. You alright? I see you had a cough there.
That was more like a...
I'll be perfectly frank, I wouldn't spend $1 for this.
No, it's not worth it. It's not worth whatever you will find this game for. It's literally not worth it.
No, not in any way, shape, or form. If I ever saw this game, if I liked the movies and I was like, oh, the Terminator, I still wouldn't buy it. If they had this at Best Buy on the monitors, I would be like, what the fuck is this?
I literally, and I'm probably a dick for saying this, if this game really does go for $15, if I ended up finding this game, like, the only way that I would buy this game is if I found it in some, like a retro gaming store for, like, 99 cents in, like, some kind of throwaway bin.
Yeah.
I would buy it just to sell it on eBay because then I would obviously get $15 for it. So
this game is
other
not...
than that, no. If you're buying this game just to play it, no, it's not worth whoever is charging whatever they want for it. It's not worth it.
Buy Star Tropics. Twice.
Buy Legacy of the Wizard, please. You could actually buy it 3 times for that price.
There
3 copies.
Literally 0 redeeming factors to this game.
There is nothing that will save this game. There is nothing. No. It's not one of those games either where you're just like, oh, it's so bad, it's fun, or this game is so bad, like now it's got a cult following. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. No. This game is terrible, and it's terrible as can be.
Yeah, this
no
one's
redemption.
Rotten.
No redemption.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, we can't say that enough.
No.
A terrible, terrible, terrible attempt at a game.
It really is. And the only last thing I can say, which I've been saying this whole time, is stop blaming LJN for bad games. It's the developers. And right now, Radical, you are enemy number 1.
Absolutely.
Because you have developed some shitty, shitty games. And Bethesda, I can't believe it, but you know what?
You stuck it out.
You done this? You did Home Alone? Somehow you ended up becoming a really good developer along the way. So you know what? At least you had these humble beginnings and that you were able to grow, you were able to do better, and you've done well for yourself. I'm glad. Radical, I hope that you have gone out of business and that there is nothing more that you can do to hurt people from making shitty, shitty games. Fuck you, Radical. Fuck you very much.
I'm curious. I wonder if they're still around.
I don't think they are.
They were around the Super Nintendo era, right?
They were.
Yeah.
And I think they may have done one game in the next generation, like either, no, maybe not Saturn, but maybe PlayStation. But I think that was it.
Okay.
I think that was when they were. That was when they were done.
I think I'll look them up after we're done and see what
I
else
honestly,
they've done.
I don't think they made it past the 16-bit era. But they might have. But I really hope that they didn't.
So there we go. 6 for difficulty, 2 for fun. Not worth $1.
Yeah.
So there's the Terminator for the NES.
Just check us out on Facebook.
Hit us up on Twitter.
Check out PowerTripGaming.tv. It'll take you right to the channel where you can watch all of our other reviews of our games. You can watch our full playthroughs of our games as well, too, including Terminator.
The link in the description will take you directly to the Terminator playlist.
Yes, it most certainly will.
Suffer through it so you don't have to actually play it.
We suffered through it so that you could watch the game in its entirety so that you will never, ever have to buy or play this game. You can experience it through our frustration.
Don't sully your system with Terminator.
No.
Don't let its herpes-infested chip into your system to just... Don't fucking push that thing down. Just, whatever. Don't play it. Watch us play it. It's actually a pretty funny watch.
Yeah.
So there you go. Next time on Power Trip Gaming, Retrospective.
I'll be back.
There's my future weapon. Finger guns. You never know.
See what I did there?
I'll be back.
Oh,
We'll be back.
because that was the actual line.
Did he say that in the first one? I thought that was a second one.
Nope. I'll be back. It was when he was at the police department, and they're like, he wanted to see somebody, they wouldn't let him in, and so he looks at him and he's like, I'll be back. And then he drives the car right into the building. Yeah.
And that's funny because that became like a catchphrase.
It became the catchphrase, yeah.
Go figure.
Mm-hmm.